going on, everyone? It's Marcellus back with another video. We got to talk about Luna Classic because, as you can see, Luna Classic has been pumping for a good little minute now. So, we're going to be talking about whether or not Luna Classic can keep this up and whether or not you should be getting in on this. So, definitely stick around to the end of the video. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, so don't take it as that. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section. But let's get straight to Luna Classic and talk about whether or not it will continue to pump or you should be worried. So let's talk about this. So the first thing I want to talk about here at Luna Classic, there is a lot of people pumping this right now. So don't think that there's not institutional investors out there jumping in on Luna temporarily. Don't think there's not whales in here getting in on Luna temporarily. This is pretty much what they're doing. And this happens with everything. Even when Dogecoin was pumping, when Shiba Inu was pumping, all of this was happening. So with all that out the way, let's talk about this. So there's no way that this is going to continue to pump for all of its time in existence. There's no crypto out there that continues to pump 24/7 and never stops pumping. All of them have their correction points, and Luna Classic is actually reaching that. But is it quite there at the correction point right now? I don't believe so. I'll talk about it in a second. So the first thing why I don't believe so is over here. You can actually see the overbought area, right? Or oversold area. It was a little bit oversold around this area, and now you're seeing buying coming back in. So now you see a green wave starting to form. A green wave is pretty much showing that buying is starting to come in back in for Luna. You're actually starting to see that reflect inside the Luna price. Now it's going up a little higher. You can see here on the CoinGecko chart, you can see that Luna is starting to have more buying pressure coming in for Luna Classic. So now what you're also seeing is this area right here is saying high activity expected. See, when you see a high activity expected area, it says this because this is for institutional investors and dark pools. And that's what these indicators track. Notice that it says high activity, but it doesn't say necessarily high buying activity or high selling activity. So this buying that we're actually having form up here in this green wave could be ended early if it wanted to. Just like over here, we thought it was going to be bigger buying pressure, but it kind of ended early, and then you can see that it kind of got stumped there. But then it had an even larger buying wave coming back in. So this could be completely debunked. It can continue to pump, but what's looking like right now, we're going to have a little bit of buying bringing us up here to this red area, which is pretty much supply and demand of less demand. It's pretty much our resistance. So it's going to end up bringing us to this resistance area for Luna, which is at 00002924 or the upper side around 29867. So that's could be where we're getting stopped out at here on Luna Classic. Now, when it says high activity expected for institutional investors in dark pools, doesn't necessarily mean buying or selling. So we could have high selling activity here. So you definitely want to watch out for that. Now, it also shows the 24-hour market control is in control by the bulls by 100%. So it does say Luna is 100% bullish. And mind you, this is only the 15M chart. If we go over here and look at the 15 or the 5-minute chart, you can see it looks kind of similar, but there's also a bearish sign coming up. And the bearish signal here on the oscillator is because we're having less and less buying as time goes on. And now we're about to see that selling wave coming in for Luna Classic in this short term. So that's going to end up bringing us down here to this high activity expected area. And that's why I like to look at different chart patterns, like from the 5-minute chart to the 15-minute chart. We were previously looking at the 15-minute chart, which is slightly longer. And now this is the 5-minute chart, which is a very short term. So in the short term, you're probably going to see Luna Classic pull back to these levels that it did prior to this at 27,246. And from here, you could see more selling pressure because it does say over here on the oscillator that we're about to have some selling coming in for Luna Classic. So you could see that selling bring us down there and then eventually down to our previous area here where we had support at 2.6 and then possibly even down where we have moderate activity for institutional investors where they're more likely to hop back in and continue to pump this wave all the way up. So you could see a big major pullback here. And let me give you my personal opinion now. Now that we got a little bit of the technicals out of the way, we're going to do some more technicals, but let me tell you what I believe is going to happen here for Luna. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But first, let's look at the basics. All right. So Luna Classic is up right now 53.5% in the last 24 hours. 53.5% in the last 24 hours. 27,000% in the last 4 months. 185% in the last 7 days. 197% in the last 14 days. 169% in the last 30 days. Down 100% in the last year. Can Luna continue to keep this? We're not going to even look at the last year. We're not even looking at anything prior to May. Like anything prior to May is completely irrelevant to Luna Classic. So we're not going to even look at that. But what we're really just looking at here for Luna Classic is the last 90 days from about June 3rd to about now. So we're going to be looking at that time frame. from the last 90 days. So do you think that we can continue to have this pump? Look at what happened last time we pumped from the June 26th all the way up here to about June 30th. It had a nice little run, well, June 29th. Then it pulled back and then it traded sideways for a few months and then boom, it starts to pump again. Do you think it's going to continue to pump, or do you think it's going to do what it did last time and pull back and trade sideways for a little while? That's what I believe is going to happen. I think there's going to be a big pullback. A lot of people are going to be very sad and upset. And if you look over here, I mean, this is the same thing that happened with Dogecoin. Just look at what everybody is saying, and it will tell you exactly what's going to happen. Just make sure you get off the ride before the predators eat you. And this is one of the only people inside of this Reddit that are actually talking with some sense. Because if you look at what everybody else is saying inside of the Reddit, right here, like shout out to everybody in here though. A lot of people inside of this Reddit are making money. And I like this meme right here. But a lot of people in this Reddit are making lots and lots of money. So I'm not gonna knock anyone making any money. Keep making that money inside Luna Classic. I wish I would have gotten like earlier where everyone else got in at. So I'm not even over here hating on anyone or anything like that. Because I definitely wish I would have got in earlier and then got out now. But I say this right now, it's probably a good time to get out if you have huge gains in Luna Classic. So if you're just risking like $100 and it hasn't went up that much, it doesn't really matter. But let's say you put in $100 way back here or like $10,000 way back here. And now you're seeing your money is up huge. This is pretty much the time where you want to take a step back because, yeah, we have huge, massive gains here for Luna Classic. So this is probably the time where people want to take a step back before they get burned. And let's be honest. Now, let's look at what everyone's saying, though. Sell your Luna Classic, they said, to the moon. And this is pretty much what everybody's saying. And a lot of people are agreeing. Some people aren't agreeing. But for the most part, all the retail traders are all in. And this is a very bad sign because when institutional investors and big whales see that retail traders are cocky and that they're not going to lose any money and they just think it's going to continue to go up, 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 and up, because most retail traders don't understand how crypto works. Nothing ever goes up 100% of the time. It never continues to go up, 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 and up. There's always a correction period. There's always a pullback. And right now, we're hitting that pullback. We haven't necessarily hit the correction, but right now, this is a pullback. And this is the first pullback. It may continue to pump here, but just remember, you were warned. You've seen this first pullback happen, and it brought us down to our prior support. How far is the next pullback going to bring us now? Is it going to be more of a correction than a pullback? That's what we really got to answer here. So $1 won't be hard. Hold and buy more. You see how ridiculous this could look. I mean, if you think about it, million, billion, trillion, $1 inside of Luna Classic would potentially bring the market cap to 6.9 trillion in market cap if you kind of look at it from the perspective of total supply. Now, obviously, they just now burned a lot of Luna Classic, and they're going to continue to burn. So we're not necessarily going to be at 6.9 trillion at $1. But when you look at it, the fully diluted market cap would be 6.9 trillion, which is very hard to reach for anything when you look at it from the fully diluted point of view. Because if you think about the fully diluted market cap, total chain, all the total supplies is going to be all those if you're looking at the fully diluted. Now, actually, let's go over to something that shows it. CoinGecko gives its own little explanation on what exactly fully diluted market cap is for some of the people out there that don't know. And I don't know why I have this light mode on. I always have the dark mode on. But I think for Doge Chain, they actually show their whole explanation here because Doge Chain has a very high fully diluted valuation. So this is what the fully diluted valuation is. It says as this FDV, the current price times the max supply. So the current price of Terra Luna Classic times the max supply, which is 6.9. Well, really the max supply is infinity. So it is an infinity for fully diluted market cap. But if we're just going to do it by this, you have to look at the total supply, which is 6.9. So you can see here million, billion, trillion. So 6.9 trillion would be our total fully diluted market cap, which is completely insane. Now, when you look at Dogechain in their explanation, it says the market capitalization right here. It says the market capitalization if the max supply of a coin is in circulation. Luna Classic does not have a max supply, but it does have a total supply on CoinGecko. So it also says, note that it can take 3, 5, 10, or more years before the FDV can be reached. So if you think about this, there is a possibility that it could reach $1. Yes, but is that possibility high or is it low? Right now, it's pretty low. But yes, there is a possibility for the people out there. But people are speaking about it like it's something that is almost 100% is going to happen. So anyways, there's a lot of different people talking about this here. They said we have burnt like 36 trillion in 24 or 36 billion in 24 hours. learn to do math right. If we keep this volume, it's burning 252 billion in 1 week. That's more as 1 trillion in 28 days. All this other stuff that the people are talking about can't 100x your money if you can't hold when we get a 50% increase. So that's just another thing that you want to look at. We are only up 53.5% in a day, but most people are going to take those profits, including institutional investors, which are the ones who are pretty much primarily pumping this coin. So if the large whales are the ones pumping the coin, they're also going to be the ones that sell. And then once they sell, the price is going to go down drastically. So that's something you want to watch out for. Now, if we keep going and looking at all these different things that people are saying, will the pump continue 10 cents? And you see over here, here's all the negative clowns who said that, they're what they are. And then diamond hands, all this other stuff. See, when people start saying diamond hands, all of this, we're going to hold to the moon. Institutional investors, they laugh and they like, yes, we've created a community of people that are trustworthy of us holding our large bags, because our large bags are some of the only bags that matter, because we have so much money in this coin that when we take and pull the rug on them, they're going to lose all their money and we're going to gain all their money. And that's exactly what happens. The large institutional investors, the huge whales, they have way more money in than all of the retail traders put together. So when they pull their money out of Luna Classic, what do you think happens at that point? Yeah, Luna Classic is going to go down huge at that point. So I'm telling people this now. You really want to watch out for this. I was actually going to go look for some whale wallets, but it's probably going to be hard to do it. I probably should have did it like before I started this, but hey, it doesn't really matter. Let's just type in one, maybe one with one comes up. No. But anyways, I'm not going to be able to find the whales. I'm going to have to do this before time. So I'm going to look through all the whale wallets and show you their sales and show you how much they're holding and when they're probably going to end up selling out on everybody. So I'll do a whole video on that. But let's look at more stuff. Like, look, what's the reason for Luna Classic pumping? Most of the retail traders know nothing about why it's pumping at all. Someone said, God, hear me screaming in pain, and he decided to help. So that's pretty funny. A lot of people do not know. Someone said delegation and staking equals shorts and FOMO, fear of missing out. One person knows exactly what's going on. Country Row. Shout out to you, Country Row. It says delegation and staking equals shorts and FOMO. So what's happening? Retail investors are like, what? Luna Classic is going up. All right, we're going to delegate our coins. We're going to stake it. We're going to lock our coins in so we can't sell when the institutional investors sell out on us. Good. That's what we're going to do. And then what comes in next? Well, people are now shorting and FOMOing. So people are going to stay in for a short amount of time, such as institutional investors and large whales, and then they're going to push that FOMO into the media, and then the media is going to tell retail traders that this is a good opportunity to buy. And that's exactly what they're doing. Rare and powerful crypto technology setting up to perform the whole market. And that's pretty much what they're saying here about Luna Classic. It's a rare opportunity to get a lot of money. And when you actually look at the whole basis of all this, it's really not that rare of an opportunity. There's a lot of cryptos that do it, but the way Luna Classic is doing it, I believe it's going to do a huge rug pull on people. A lot of people are going to, not necessarily a rug pull, but, I'm just saying, as in they're going to be selling out on people. Like all these institutional investors are going to start selling out on y'all. But anyways, look, another media outlet saying Terra Luna Classic price up again, 22% higher at this area here. Not too late to buy. They're saying it's not too late to buy, yet we're up 197% in the last 14 days, but it's not too late to buy yet. See, this is the type of stuff that makes people lose money. And you can see here, same guy, 1 week later, to the moon. So yeah, a lot of people are really betting on this $1 by the end of 2022. Mark my words, we're going to have a 6.9 trillion market cap by 2022, the end of it. Mark my words, even though right now our market cap isn't that high and we're only doing 1.7 billion in trading volume, which is extremely high to be completely honest. But just not even a few hours ago, maybe like 24 hours ago, is about 500 million in trading volume. So that's ridiculous. I'm going to find where it was actually showing the trading volume here. So look, they had the trading volume right here at $356 million in trading volume yesterday at 12:21 p.m. Now what is it today? Now it's at 1.7 billion. So you mean to tell me that all this money, the 1.7 billion in the last 24 hours, is coming all from retail investors, all from small money people? No, the literal biggest whales in crypto are throwing their money inside of this because they see the retail investors are gathering around and pumping it. The same thing happened with Dogecoin and SHIB. The big institutional investors, all the big whales, they took their money, they threw it in, they let the FOMO go on, and they let people think they're going to be rich millionaires. And then right when it hit its peak, they pulled it out on them. They sold out on them. And that's pretty much what happened. Now you can also see a lot of other people are talking about it too. Lunatics, keep holding, keep holding, keep holding as the big whales sell out on you and take your money. Continue to hold. Do that. Continue to hold those bags as these people pull the rug on you. Right? That's what these people are screaming. But one thing I want to say, like I said, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But what I see, this is a good opportunity to make some short-term money. But people are talking about holding for forever. No, 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 no. You hold for that 14 days ago, and you sell out today. Because if you had 20,000 14 days ago, if you just want to do the math real quick, let's just go ahead and do that. So let's say you went up 197%, which let's just say that's 200%. So you would have multiplied anything you had by 2. Because, well, actually, no, it'd be actually by 3, because first you rise by 100%, which is a whole 2x, and then you rise by, another 100%, which is pretty much 3. So anyways, this is a huge opportunity. Yes, if you had $20,000 in this, and then you go up by that cool 200% or so, you're getting a nice return on your investment. So that's pretty nice. That's $60,000 off $20,000. A lot of people are seeing big gains. A lot of people didn't put that much in, but I'm just showing it from a macro point of view. But yeah, perspective. But what I really do want to show this, Terra Luna Classic burns sees significant advances. So yes, Terra Luna has been burning a lot of coins. I won't lie there. They burned a lot. 3.08 trillion Luna Classic has been burned. But you got to think about it. If more Luna can be added to the ecosystem, if it already has 6.9 trillion, look, million, billion, trillion, if it already has that much, what's stopping it from continuing to, just, I don't know. I just want to say this. A lot of people are just a little bit delusional here. You think it's going to hit $1. It could hit $1, but you really want to take a step back and look at the logistics here. It just doesn't make sense for it to do all that everyone else is saying. So another thing, it says 3.08 trillion, right? And then they turn around and they say this. There have been a total of 3080 billion Luna Classic destroyed so far as reported by Luna Classic Burn, a channel that keeps accounts of all Luna Classic. And this is the wallet right here that they're burning. So let's just go ahead and confirm this so people can see there is burns, but this comes out to what they're saying. 1.88 million was burned, something like that. Let's go back over here so we can actually look at this. So let's go over to the Terra scan and then go over to the Classic and then put this wallet in. And now we'll track this wallet. So this wallet or this account doesn't hold any coins yet. That's what they're saying. Maybe they typed in the wallet wrong. I don't know. Maybe they typed in it wrong or what, but it's saying it has no coins. So I guess this one has no coin. Let's go to the mainnet. And it probably would, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just put the wrong number in for the wallet. I'm going to have to find the actual wallet because it seems like they probably typed in the wrong number. But anyways, we have over here some more stuff, some more FOMO stuff. This is all fear of missing out. A lot of people are just, they fear missing out on the big bag. What's causing Terra's failed Luna Classic to soar? A lot of people don't know, but hey, it's still pumping. And a lot of people don't know why it's pumping. It's just pumping and they're happy with it. And somehow it's going to get to $1. So I'm just saying all this to say, look, there's anything can happen at this point. You just want to be careful. Be sure that this is exactly what you want to do. If you want to hold to $1, go ahead and hold Luna Classic to $1. It's been trending everywhere. Luna Classic burn, trending everywhere. Luna Classic community, trending everywhere. And I'm not against anyone, but let's see exactly where it goes. Because if everybody's got enough to have 1 million inside Luna Classic, everyone can't be a millionaire. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Everyone cannot be a millionaire. It's not going to happen like that. But what I do see coming here for Luna Classic is another little sell-off, and it's kind of happening right now as we're making the video. So you can see right here, this little red area, we're getting less buying, more selling is starting to come in for Luna Classic. High activity is expected when we hit this area. It could be high buying or high selling. So you could potentially see Luna Classic going back down to the support at the 2.3 area or back up to the resistance at the 2.9 area. So you can see either of that happening for Luna Classic. But let's look at the 4-hour chart because the 4-hour chart is going to show you the long-term perspective on what you should expect for Luna Classic. So first of all, when you look at it from a long-term perspective, this is overbought. This is way overbought. But how are we all the way up here at the top of the overbought area? And we're going to continue to become overbought and continue to go to the top till it can't even go to the top on the oscillator anymore. Look, the oscillator stops right here. So you mean to tell me it's going to continue to go all the way up, and it's just going to continue to be purchasing all the way up here to the peak of the oscillator, not even the peak. There is no peak on the oscillator, but it's just going to continue to go up, 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 then hit $1, then everyone gets to sell out and become a millionaire, and no one misses out. It's not going to be like that, and it's not going to be like that at all. Actually, if you look at our oscillator, we're at the peak of our overbought area. We're at the very peak of that overbought area. Yes, the bulls are in control of the 24-hour market control by 80%, so it is 80% bullish, even looking at the long-term perspective. But it's still the last 24 hours. But then when you look over here, what comes after you peak on the oscillator? Well, you get selling. What comes after we peaked on the oscillator here? See, we peaked twice on this oscillator, so it's possible. It is possible for it to go back down like this, but not go down to the selling side and then go up for another overbought area and then peak again. But what happened immediately after that? A little bit of a sell-off came. You can see that sell-off wasn't really that bad. It just kind of went back down to the support. And that's exactly what I'm saying right now. I don't think LUNC Classic is going to keep pumping like people are saying. I think it's going to pull back down to its support, have a little correction, and then from there, you can probably see some more gains. So what am I saying here? Expect LUNC Classic to pull back here to this 2-3 area, and then maybe continue to pump, or expect it to continue to pump a little bit more and then do a pullback. So it could continue to pump maybe even to this resistance, or maybe even past this resistance up here to the 3-4 area, and then going back down to that support. So either way, we're going to get some kind of pullback or correction. It just depends whether or not we're going to get it before or after the next pump inside of LUNC Classic. But hey, that's all I got for you all today. Let me know what you think of the video. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Don't hate me if I gave up your dreams there, but I'm just being honest. This is what I believe personally. So if you believe this is going to hit $1 and you're going to become a millionaire, definitely believe that and come back to this video when it hits $1. If it hits $1, and prove me wrong. But I do think we're going to have this correction regardless. So prepare for it. And as always, I'll be back for another video.